So in the first episode, we left our home in the Highlands and drove down to Newcastle to get the overnight ferry to Amsterdam. From there, we went through Germany, stopping one night in a campsite by the Rhine, then on to Strasbourg for a night, and then our destination for 2 nights was Grindelwald to see the magnificent Eiger. Descending from Jungfrau Joch, we headed back down to the hotel. Then we got a bus out to Glacier Canyon, which is about 20-25 minutes away. It's a 1 kilometre long, 300 metre high canyon. So this was the spider's web. I thought it'd be higher than this, but it was still quite high. 7 metres from the water. I did try to get Sharon to have a go on it, but she wouldn't, so she just let her stupid husband run around like a 12-year-old. She's used to that though. I spotted this afterwards. I kind of figured I was okay because I didn't have a ponytail. The canyon swing was closed, which is unfortunate. That would have been a buzz jumping off from up there. Don't think Sharon was too keen on me doing that though, but I think she was glad when it was closed. Don't think there's any rules that say grandparents can't be silly. On the Saturday when we left Grindelwald, I did a detour to somewhere else that I wanted to tick off my bucket list. and it was about an hour sort of out of the way-ish, but the roads were just phenomenal. I like these single track roads. I'm used to them living in the Highlands of Scotland, so there's no problem. It was a big drop though off the side, lots of trees, so it was okay. So we're visiting the Reichenbach Falls, and for anyone that knows Sherlock Holmes, these are the falls where he threw Professor Moriarty from. If you don't know Sherlock Holmes, it's just a nice place to visit. Because this area's a hydro dam, this part of the walk-in actually has got a flood mark on the wall, so I can't imagine what the amount of water coming through here would have been like. You can see down the bottom there the sort of pump house and things. No water in it today. It was hardly a trickle. The Reichenbach dribble. It was still lovely to see it. So from this viewpoint, I've just spotted a wee star on the face over there. So that's possibly where he threw Moriarty off, which is still still going to be a long way down. And I'm wondering if that was the cliff face that he climbed out of. So we headed round to where the star was on the cliff face. And we'd actually missed a sign at the top, a very small little sign, but it was fine. We had a lovely viewpoint from that side as well, so it was nice to do both. So a little wander around, and we passed one person. Had the place to ourselves, which was superb. There's a couple of accounts as to when Arthur Conan Doyle actually visited the falls. One account says August of 1892, but then records state that in August of 1892 he was in Norway, and other records say 1893 during a summer stay. So it's around that period. That was the viewpoint I was pointing from earlier. What a beautiful day to be here. That's the second thing ticked off my bucket list. The Eiger, and now the Reichenbach Falls. One to go. I suppose the bigger ones will go in the open sections maybe.
Just feels odd, but it's quirky.
Very quirky.
You might have to come back on it, but you might not. I don't know what the route is. Maybe in the summer this could be really busy. So it says make sure that you're in between.
Yeah.
Though she's got to put the kettle on.
It's the way to travel. Let's get a cup of tea on the train.
In 300 meters, slight right onto Bahnhofstrasse.
That was a great experience. Really enjoyed that. Quite surreal having a cup of tea and a biscuit while you're being driven along. They can certainly do infrastructure over here. And everything's so clean. And when we got back to Britain after driving through all these countries, the first thing I noticed at Dover was rubbish. Just garbage up the motorways and on the verges and in car parks. And it's a different mentality. Some great switchbacks on these roads, especially when you've been up high for a while. I think that train track was about 1,200 metres. So you've got to drop back down again. Obviously going too slow for some of these cars. They haven't got 3.5 ton to slow down. Makes you feel dizzy, that. I know I keep showing a few tunnels, but they were just amazing. Just so clean, so tidy, no potholes. Like none, zero. Tash is basically parking for Zermatt, because you're not allowed to drive into Zermatt, and all the sort of hotels and businesses down this one road are car parks. So, and we had to get a train into Zermatt from here. Great system. It was really nice. Tash sits at 1,440 metres, so about 4,700 odd feet. It's fairly high. Zermatt's slightly higher at 5,200 feet. We're spending 2 nights in Tash, and the underground parking. My van had a nice warm car park for 2 nights. It was lovely. We got the train into Zermatt in the morning. Super clean trains as well. Very prompt, on time, as you would expect. So as it was a Sunday morning, it was pretty quiet still. Sharon, you don't need one of them. Sharon, I need one of these. These bells were mad loud. They kept going for ages. Not great if you'd just finished night shift. So these round plinths are locally known as rackards. They're called valleys granaries, and these type of houses used to hold grain. So the round stone on top stopped mice from climbing up into the grain stores. That's genius. All the little taxis and buses that we saw, all electric. The air was cold, clear, and fresh. It's beautiful. The journey up to the top station that we were going, 40 minutes. I wished I had a 360-degree swivel head. The views were just unbelievable. Stunning. Actually, walkways down here. Can you see them? This had to be the steepest cable car we've ever been on. So this is just water being sprayed out, but it has a bit of compressed air added in at the nozzles, which gives the water something to freeze round, and then it falls as snow. It's slightly denser than proper snow, but it works for keeping runs open when there's not much snow about. And there definitely wasn't as much snow as they used to get. I imagined I looked quite gormless for anyone looking at me coming up here. Just sat with my mouth open, smiling. This one's the Breithorn, which is opposite the Matterhorn. You can actually see folk making their way up to the top there. Zooming in was a bit shaky, sorry about that. It was quite windy actually here. That's my excuse, I'm sticking to it. It was stunningly well done, everything, the infrastructure up here. But there was a little bit of something in the back of my head that kind of was saying, kind of spoilt it. You know, a lot of infrastructure, a lot of people. And you imagine what this was like with nothing here, you know. But anyway, that was just the little voice in my head. Tunnels through the glacier or glacier, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Spectacular again. A lot of different rooms and corridors on this one. Great to see. The place is massive. It's lots of skiers about. Just a very, very busy place. I can only imagine how busy this place is in midwinter when the skiing season's in full bore. We were here in the sort of 6 weeks after the summer holidays and before the winter, so it was quiet. The attention to detail is amazing. These carvings here of the surrounding mountains. Just so well done, everything. The Matterhorn in the middle there. So we're headed down, saying goodbye to the Matterhorn. this roundabout coming up was awesome. So well done. Slowed it down to show you. So we left the Hotel Matterhorn on Monday the 10th of November. We had 2 nights then at park-ups in the camper van. Which is nice to be back in the van. Yeah, 4-star hotel's okay and all, but you know, it's not my van. So after a very quiet night, I woke up on the Tuesday. This was the dawn. Another beautiful day. I hadn't seen any rain since we left the Highlands. And today was Tuesday the 11th, which is Armistice Day. Which is a national holiday in France and commemorates the end of World War One. So we left our quiet, misty morning park up and headed out on very, very quiet roads with it being a national holiday. And we were heading for an air tonight in the Champagne region. And the roads we were on today were super quiet, super straight and really long. I'm one of them weird blokes that appreciates a good wood pile. Done a very good job here. This one stretch of road, I've put it at warp speed. It was 6 miles, arrow straight. Loved it. So we were staying in a little village of Chamery, which is in the Champagne-Ardenne region. It was just outside Reims. We drove through some beautifully manicured farmland today and yesterday. And the area we're staying in on our last night in France, and the Champagne region, was just stunningly manicured. As far as you could see from the drone shots, it was just fields of perfection. I suppose that's why they're quite good at making champagne. We'd avoided toll roads for the couple of days coming through France, really just to see the countryside. And we weren't really in a rush because we didn't have a ferry or anything to catch. But obviously on the last day we had a ferry and a time to catch. The ferry was at 2, I think. So we set off early, and it was 176 miles, and we took the sort of motorways. So that cost about, I think it was about €40. And we actually arrived early and got the midday ferry. They just put us onto that because we were early. So a lovely little break. Tick 3 things off my bucket list. Plenty more on there. So it's a quiet trip back over. Well, it doesn't take long from Dunkirk to Dover. We stayed the night about half an hour from the ferry terminal and travelled up to Birmingham the next day, and then followed up to Cheshire to see family. before driving the longest stretch of the trip, 7 hours back from up to the Highlands. So in total we travelled 2,330 miles, and the van never missed a beat. It was perfect. So I hope you enjoyed coming with us on our little jaunt, and thanks for watching if you got this far.